morning, America. How are ya? Monday morning rail. Today is Monday, and you know what we do on Monday? You guessed it, we do show and tell. Show and tell is always brought to you by Jelsma Graphics, the people that make all the railroad embroidery shirts for all the clubs, individuals, railroads. Been doing this since 1985. So go to jelsma.com. It's Jelsma for all of your railroad embroidery needs. And with that being said, show and tell is going to start right now. Show and tell starts right now, and we have a very exciting show today. I know I say that all the time, but I get excited when I talk about the Wabash. You know, this past weekend, the Wabash Historical Society had their annual convention in Mexico, Missouri. And I just want to give another shout out to them. Last week we talked about the Columbia branch. But this week we're going to talk about the city of Kansas City. I've done segments on the city of Kansas City. I just love the city of Kansas City. And so we are doing this segment kind of in honor of the Wabash Historical Society's meeting this past weekend, and their whole emphasis on that convention was the city of Kansas City. And so we're going to run it, and I hope all my Wabash buddies like it, and we just hope you really enjoy it. So with historical societies, I highly recommend that you join these historical societies. At our club we have people that are FEC enthusiasts. I'm one of those, and my cameraman today, Cardinal Phil, he is an avid FEC fan. So join those historical societies. And I also want to give a little quick shout out. In October, the Southern Pacific is having their annual convention this year in San Francisco. And if you just go on the internet and look up Southern Pacific Historical Society, you will see they are having an event in San Francisco. And if you're an SP fan, you got to be a member of those organizations. And they get a lot of information. And same thing with Union Pacific. I could go on and on and on. And so it's very, very important. But the city of Kansas City was a very unique train. The American Car and Foundry Company, basically out of St. Louis, actually it was a suburb of St. Louis called St. Charles, they made the original set. My model here is a little bit later on, but the train was inaugurated November the 26th in 1947. I was 2 years old. And this train ran all the way up into 1968 when they finally discontinued it. But I remember in around 1965, I used to leave the cornfields of Iowa and drive into Missouri and sit and watch on the main line as the Wabash and also the Santa Fe would go through Missouri on its way to Chicago. And the Kansas City, city of Kansas City would run through this town, and I distinctly remember always when I'd go down there, I'd look at the diner, and I was just so impressed with it. And they also had a lunch counter car. And you could see the counter, and I was just so impressed with that. But my train that I have here is I think is a very nice segment. I have a Broadway E7. It had a baggage car. It had coaches. Now this was a day train. For an example, it left St. Louis at 8:45 in the morning, and it got into Kansas City at 2:15. And it departed Kansas City back to St. Louis at 3:55 and got in at 9:45. But they had domes on it. Many times you'd see two domes, sometimes you'd see one dome. Sometimes they'd have a full diner, and a lunch counter. Towards the end, they had basically a lunch counter, but it was just a really nice train, and all stainless steel. And what was kind of unusual on this train is they had an observation car that was extra fare, and it was car number 1600. No one has made a model of this car. This car here is custom made. It was made by Mike Stamey of Southeast Models. I've had 3 of these cars made by different people, and Mike has made the very best rendition of it. It's car 1600, and it was just a beautiful car. And so I remember watching this train for years and years, and just a very, very nice train. The city of Kansas City. That's the way it is at the world famous Jacksonville Terminal Railroad Museum in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida, where the sun always shines and running trains is a pleasure.